Hey Scorpio, welcome to Intention 1111. Today I'm going to be doing a weekend Scorpio. Thank you for those of you stuck around. I appreciate that. I was on a little hiatus, so appreciate the views and the continued subscriptions. So thank you so much. Let's see. This is going to be February 4 through 11, I believe. So let's see kind of what the energy is going to be for this week. If you'd like to book a personal read, you can reach me at thejezebelway@gmail.com or wear your intentions at intentions1111.com. Um, again, I don't solicit anyone for reads, so you always contact me first and then I shoot you a time frame, and that's how we operate. So let's see what we got for Scorpio for February 4th through 11. Show me the energy. Sweet. Okay. Let's see for Scorpio. Show me the energy for Scorpio. You might find this week that you've got a little clarity in, you have the conception card, right? So you might find this week that you have a little bit of clarity in bringing new ideas into the physical realm. You might be full of ideas and downloads this week. Looks like root chakra is going to be emphasized this week. The frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies and in the physical world. And crown chakra, the downloads, the conception we were talking about. So this is going to be about confidence in expressing ideas and expressing things this week that maybe you're getting intuitively, or maybe that, you've had an idea and you want to say your piece about it. Also, confidence, insecurities, fears this week. Beware of fear mongering this week from people. I know there's a lot going on in the world right now, and we're all on TikTok or we're all on whatever social media, and we're constantly being bombarded with every single day something else is broken loose, okay? And it's good to prepare, but you have these people who are making their living on um, basically scaring people into stocking up, you know, and it's never anything wrong to prepare, okay? But it's a continuous fight or flight response that we're finding ourselves in. It's a continuous idea of, is today going to be the day that this world war breaks out, or frickin' Yellowstone volcano goes off, or is today going to be the day that the EMP hits and we're all going to be stuck on the highway? It's a lot of that fear mongering going around. And again, there's nothing wrong with being aware and there's nothing wrong with being prepared. However, that energy is a matrix energy, right? And that energy has a tendency to shrink our root chakra because it keeps us in a fight or flight response. So not only does it affect the root, but it's affecting our solar plexus as well, and our heart and everything else. So beware of, and that was just an example of that, right? But beware this week if someone or some situation that you are encountering in your life is keeping you in a state of fight or flight response, or keeping you in a state of negativity, or you're getting feelings of hopelessness from whatever energy you're absorbing, right? There is a lot going on in the world. No telling what's going to happen, okay? But we have to not accept those realities sometimes, right? We cannot get ingrained and plugged into that sometimes, because then that's what we're bringing into our world. So sometimes you got to turn it off. You got to unplug it. You got to say, no matter what, still going to be standing. Things always are working out in my favor. Um, if you feel an insecurity in some way, work on the insecurity, right? But don't allow fear mongering and negative energy that keeps us in a place of fear affect how you live your life and allow it to affect your root chakra in negative ways. Listen to your intuition. So you have a one, you have a seven. Abundance is coming in this week, could be coming in this week. Get in alignment with yourself and understand that you don't have really any control over whatever is happening or going to happen. The only thing you can control is yourself and how you respond to it, how you prepare for it. So let's kind of see what we've got for Scorpio going on this week. Show me Scorpio this week. 4th of February. Show me Scorpio this week. Okay, right. Some things may be coming to an end for some of you this week. Also, there's a card of unexpected money coming in, some sort of closure, a sale of something, or a harvest of something brings in money for Scorpios this week. Um, some of you may be saying goodbye to transitions in your life this week. You may be saying goodbye to things that are moving out of your life, and it may be kind of a bittersweet goodbye because it may have been sentimental to you or important to you in some way, significant to you in some way. And you're being urged to kind of move past that and say goodbye to something this week. So just be aware of that energy again. You know, don't live in fear. If you don't move with the cycles of life, you get dragged, okay? And you end up holding on to things that have long since um, played their part in your word. Show me Scorpio this week. Again, you got to learn how to block out the fear factor. There may be a conversation this week. It could be relationship with job. It could be family, love, or whatever. There's a conversation coming in this week about with a relationship that you have, okay, that you don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And part of the reason why you don't want to hear it is because it's not in alignment with you. It doesn't resonate with you. This conversation and coming this week doesn't make a lot of sense to you. You don't accept that reality. And so you may find yourself having a tendency to want to block out communication from people. I mean, hear what they have to say. You don't have to adopt their idea on anything. There's an idea here that somebody wants to have a conversation about a break being taken or some sort of leave being taken. And you just do not want to hear it. And you're starting to rethink the relationship situation within that particular set. Some of you may be finding that you've outgrown a situation as well. It looks like here, the longer something carries on, the more burdensome it becomes. And you feel as though you've outgrown a relationship. Maybe it's time to move on. I think some of you may be asking the question, I just don't see myself in that. I don't see myself in that. Sometimes part of us deciding whether or not, we're going to carry on with a particular person is seeing us in their lives years down the road. That's just a small example, but there's something here that you don't see yourself in the future. You don't see yourself participating in the future. It's just not, it's not clicking with you. You're not in it. You're not seeing that vision. And I think you're saying to yourself, I've carried this burden of this situation. I don't see myself being here. I certainly don't want to be here in 3 years or whatever time. And you're going to start revising your dedication or your priority to this particular relationship, whether it's love, family, job, whatever. Once you come to that clarity, I think that you're saying here, hey, do I want to be miserable or do I want to be happy? Is it time maybe to leave this situation before things go too far, before I become totally disconnected from it? Before I totally just don't care? Or it carries on so long that it starts to turn, that stagnated energy starts to turn into something that is negative, decaying, right? Um, so I think you're kind of doing an angel and a devil thing in your head where you're saying, hey, what's the best course of action? But at the end of the day, one of you or some of you out there are kind of feeling trapped in something that you feel like is, shelf life has happened here. So let's see what we got going on for career. You're hanging on to stuff this week. It might be a good week to let it go. I think a lot of you are having a little bit of fever here where you kind of want newness in your life, new energy in your life. You may be looking at other job opportunities this week. You may be asking yourself the question, is it better for me to stay where I'm unhappy, or is it better for me to be uncomfortable or comfortable, or is it better for me to kind of take a chance and move on to something new? Um, there may be some communication issues at work this week regarding no, it was my idea. No, it was my idea. Some of you may be feeling like you're not getting the credit for something an idea that you've proposed, or there may be issues. Some of you may have paycheck issues, time stamp issues. You may have noticed your check is short or something's wrong with the accounting. Um, there also may be a lot of applicants. If you're applying for jobs this week, you may find, or you're interviewing for jobs, right? You may find that there's a great deal of people being interviewed, and you're kind of shocked at the amount of people that are sitting there, and you're kind of like, well, I mean, if this many people are being interviewed, there's no way I'm going to get this damn job, right? And so again, you have to fight this idea of this issue of self-confidence and fear factors with your root and sacral this week. Some of you may also encounter something this week in which you had been called to hire for a job, or you've been called for the job, and then all of a sudden something goes haywire and there's some conflict with bringing you on. Or some of you may have had some issues here about negotiating an offer, okay, for employment this week. There may be some sort of conflict this week. You're having to defend what you're worth in a contract, or how much salary you're anticipating to get from a company, and you're communicating that. And there may be some sort of conflict with the offer as far as um, the amount you're going to be making, right? Scorpio, here you are as the death card. I feel like it's crickets here for you with something here, Scorpio, and you're moving on to something that makes you happy. So let's see kind of what that's about. Show me the Hermit card. I think you're following your intuition here in regard to staying or leaving employment. Show me Hermit. Hermit. Okay. There's a fear factor that finances and security and stability are going to be a problem. How I must be nuts. Must be nuts for leaving this job. Um, where's my stability going to come from? But I think that some of you are trusting your intuition this week when you're leaving things. Um, your intuition, of course, Scorpio, it's going to be. Scorpios don't take things lightly like that, especially when it comes to our money. Your intuition is spot on. So if that's something for you guys out there, and you're, going back and forth about whether you should do it or not, but you've got this nagging feeling back here, your intuition is spot on. That stability and those finances coming in, and that money and victory coming in, is going to pay out in the long run. You also have recognition for something that you've been doing or did. There may be a bonus offered. There may be some sort of, well, I don't know, a merit raise or something like that coming to some of you Scorpios this week. The main idea here, though, is what's the priority, comfort or happiness? Um, so let's see what your money's going to look like this week. This week. Oopsie. Scorpios always find a way, right? We always find a way. So just remember that about yourself. Think back on your life and how you've always found a way to make it work. You either have that or you don't. Sometimes circumstances are a good motivator, right? So just remember and think back on situations. Show me Scorpio's money this week. Scorpio's celebrating something. Ah, okay. Some of you may be having, there may be something going on with a vehicle this week. Um, some of you may be letting go of a vehicle. Some of you may be getting a new vehicle, right? There's something about peace and harmony and balance here and celebration. Five Cups changes. Regarding the Chariot's usually a vehicle, but maybe, you know, this has to do with finding a great car rate that you're refinancing or getting a new vehicle or something like that. It looks here like finances are stable, right? You have the Queen of Pentacles, and these are upside down, but the last four or five I've pulled have been, so that just means the deck is. There's some stability here with money. So getting rid of something maybe that was sucking your bank account dry is success, right? It's stability. You're being logical. You are being very frugal with your money this week, maybe. You're thinking about long-term spending. Um, and you've kind of got crickets action here on a vehicle. So maybe some of you have decided not to move forward with an offer. You've not decided to move forward with a car or something like that. New beginning is about slow and steady research with money. Should I invest in that? Is it risky? Something like that. So money looks like it's going to be stable, but I think you're being more intentional with your money this week. Do I really need that? Do I really need that? Is kind of what I'm getting. Money's stable, but you're going to be more intentional this week about how you spend your money. You're going to be slow to spend your money this week. Right, well, let's get to it. Let's talk about love. Show the Scorpio in love this week. How's this week going to be for Scorpio in love? Oops. Well, can't get the cards to come together. That's not a good sign. How is love going to be for Scorpio this week? Show me love for Scorpio, February 4 through 11. All right, again, we have slow moving energy here. Scorpio, slow moving energy, revising contracts. We had a card that fell down here, juggling ideas. So you've got money here, being slow with your money so that you're not juggling money, watching your money grow. Okay, we do have coin cards here, but you're also, if this is love situation here, you're looking at relationship contract. Should I move forward with the contract? Should I put the brakes on? Now, contract can mean date, relationship. It can mean all kinds of things. It's just that the Seven of Coins is kind of a contract card. You're juggling something here, Scorpio, that you're thinking about putting the brakes on. You're taking a look at the growth in this situation and you're thinking, is this growing at a rate that it's supposed to? Is this growing in the way that it's supposed to? Is this developing in the right time or is it not? Is this going to be fruitful moving forward or is it not? And again, there's this energy about, do I see myself in this down the road? So some of you may be asking yourselves that question. Do I see myself here? I mean, or is this really where I want to be in 3 or 4 years or 7 years? Sometimes that thought process stops people in their tracks right there. I mean, because my patience level, even with coffee makers, is kind of a problem. Do I want to wait 25 minutes for something to brew? No. That's why I'm not a gourmet coffee connoisseur. I'm not waiting all that time for that cold water to seep through that filter. No, thank you. Turn the coffee pot on, right? So it's kind of like when you think about the time something takes or has taken or will take, okay, to grow or to give you returns or whatever, Scorpio's kind of stopping right there and saying, I don't think I've got the staying power for this. I don't think I have the patience for this. I think the time thing and am I going to have to put up with this shit for 7 years? I don't think I can do it. I think that's kind of where Scorpios finding themselves in relationships. Or somebody's patience is really worn thin with something. They don't think they could do it again. I can't go around there again. I can't do that again, right? So let's see what this is that Scorpio's juggling. Yeah, there's some confusion about an offer, rescinding an offer. I don't know what that's about. A relationship is out of balance, and right now it's in a little bit of confusion. Scorpio saying, "Oh no," I mean, that's what's happening to Scorpio. Romance may be in the reverse in this relationship, or something's out of balance. You're not on the same page with something. Show me the moon. What's the confusion? There may be an idea if somebody feels like somebody's juggling someone else, or someone else could be career, money, they're putting in front of their partner, they feel like. Show me the moon. Scorpio's like, I want to be happy. I'm not interested in confusion. What I'm interested in right now is peace and harmony and peace in my home. Scorpios are very particular about things like that, especially when it comes to their home, because Scorpios view their home as a place where they can go and like shut the world out, right? And hide and be in their corner and not deal with all of the energy coming at them all the time. And a lot of times, if there's not peace in your home, you're not going to have peace on the outside of your home either. So there's something here about Scorpio deciding that they're much happier with peace and harmony and that they need to make the changes that are necessary to promote peace and harmony in their life. So I think Scorpio's tired, run out of patience with the situation, and they're kind of like, I don't think I've got it in me to continue with this. I don't think I have the time to lend to this anymore. I don't see myself being here. I don't think that I can see myself in it because I don't have to stay in power for this particular situation. And here's the trick. If Scorpio is saying, hey, I don't have the stay in power for this, then it's going to be pretty damn bad. I mean, Scorpios are very loyal. When we love really hard. When we love somebody, 9 times out of 10, Scorpio is going to be in love with this person for the rest of their life. You may not know it, and they maybe sometimes hate your guts, but they still love you. Because when Scorpios love, we love all the way. And so if a Scorpio is saying here, yeah, I can't go, I can't do it, not for me, thanks, then there must be some conflicting ideas. There must be some really um, big red flags here that take away Scorpio's peace. And if you're starting to affect their peace and quiet or their peace, Scorpio may be rethinking this. And like I said, for a Scorpio to go there, okay. I mean, it's got to be, there's got to be some major big flaws in the situation here. So, moral of the story is a lot of you over money and career and love are going to be rethinking how you do things and how you want to do things. A lot of contracts being revised, a lot of saying goodbye and turning new cycles over, right? Is going to be happening for a lot of you this week. So just remember, fear, don't be in fear with anything. You only have control about how you react to things, right? And if your intuition is telling you something, trust it. You may be having a lot of clarity of thought this week over all the categories. So let's get some advice for Scorpio. So transformation season, even though it's Aquarius season, it's some kind of transformation energy for Scorpio this week. I mean, death and rebirth is what Scorpio does. Reinvention of the self, right? You may be experiencing that kind of energy this week. Show me Scorpio, universe, show me what I need to see. Oops. Show me Scorpio this week. Let's get some advice for Scorpio. Let's get some advice for Scorpio this week. Balanced life. Maintain the balance this week. Love seeks your well being. Love seeks your well being, okay? Not ego seeks your well being. I want my way seeks your well being. You're here to serve my purpose seeks your being. Love seeks your well being. Those who love you will understand. Those who love you will invest in you, right? They will invest in your well being. They will check on you. They will respect your boundaries in a situation. Love seeks your well being. Love is not, love is patient, love is kind, it's not boastful, so on and so forth, right? Balanced life. So again, red root, maintaining balance and remembering to ground and not be in fear. Trust your gut feeling. So, I want to tell you, this is really funny how this works. And sometimes I wish you guys were sitting right here when I'm doing this. You see these two cards that talk about intuition and crown chakra, and downloads and whatever, right? And then you've got the root, which is your base. You've got, confidence. I can do this. I'm capable, things like that, right? And look at these two cards, how they mirror that action. Okay. Love, invest in your well being, trust your intuition this week, right? So again, we have come full circle back to where we begin. Trust your gut feeling. Let your heart lead you to where you are. Let your heart lead you to where you are. So if you can't see yourself in something, you're not meant to be there. Okay. Unless there's some rarity here, right? Sometimes it happens that you don't see yourself in something and then you end up doing it, right? But there is a lot of intervention and intuition happening along the way in those kind of situations, and they are not the norm. So if you don't see yourself in it and you can't connect to it and you can't ground in it, you're not meant to be there. So, Scorpio, that's what I have for you guys this week, and I'll see y'all later.